Welcome to Bangkok, a city where street food is a way of living. Street food vendors are basically everywhere, and some of them have even earned a Michelin recognition for their delicious, tasty, mouth-dripping dishes. Here in Bangkok, Michelin-rated dining doesn't have to break your bank. Let's eat! I am joined by my beautiful girlfriend, and we're gonna start this Michelin tour with a traditional Thai breakfast.
In a restaurant that has more than 60 years long tradition of making a congee. Congee is a rice porridge where rice is cooked for so long that it dissolves and creates this beautiful porridge. This restaurant is famous for many reasons, and one of them is that they are using jasmine rice and they cook it for 4 to 5 hours in a broth to get a rich flavor.
A trademark of this restaurant is that this porridge is cooked in bronze pots. Why bronze? Because it enriches the flavor and the bronze pots can withstand the high temperatures and the porridge don't stick to the bottom. Raw egg is put into this porridge to create a more creamy texture, and we really like it there.
And we chose a variation with the pork meatballs. And we are very surprised how good this meatball tastes. The restaurant is mincing the meat by their own. That way they ensure that the meat is fresh and delicious every day.
As the rice porridge is cooked in a broth, it has a very good taste itself. But by adding ginger and spring onion, they are creating a masterpiece. And I am not surprised they are awarded by Michelin for 3 years in a row.
Is for Pochaya.
And it's the only restaurant on our list that doesn't have a one signature meal, but rather a whole signature menu. So let's try them out.
The first of 3 recommended dishes is chicken cashew. It's basically just stir-fried chicken breast with the cashew nuts, lemongrass, chilies and onions mixed together with some sweet sauce. So let's give it a try. And even though the meat is deep fried, the sauce is making it very juicy.
Traditional dish number 2, stir-fried beef with a load of basil leaves. You can find this meal throughout the whole Thailand in chicken, pork, but we found a beef version. And basil is the thing that distinguishes if it's good or bad. Let's see how is this one. The basil leaf in this meal are really fragrant, and what's so special about this beef? There are no fat, it's super lean, and it's so much meat there. I really like the size of this portion. And what's the most favorite food in this restaurant according to the locals? Crab omelette. It was on every single table that was around us.
Favorite, okay. Favorite now. Okay.
How many years is the restaurant open?
60.
60 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
About 60 years.
Wow, so we found out that they're changing the menu sometimes, and this one is favorite at the moment. So there's a lot of meat inside. Oh, I like it. Yummy.
It's so fluffy. The egg is really dominant there. You cannot really feel the crab meat, but I really like the texture. Most of the omelets, when you have them, they're like super thin and not that spongy. This one is really big and it's fluffy. Definitely a different kind of omelet than the one that we would have back home.
This Michelin tour wouldn't be complete without Pad Thai.
And there are so many varieties of this traditional Thai meal, and we are very curious to see how good is this one going to be.
Enjoy.
To be honest, we are not expecting it to be this good.
This pad thai is so delicious. You can see it's not watery. All the flavors are really well mixed together. What is interesting are these noodles. The noodles are thin and it creates a full flavor.
And it's not dry like other pad thais we tried before. Kudos for the chefs to creating it this sauce. In my life, I've seen many pad thais being prepared, but the preparation of this one is very special. There are 3 chefs and 3 stoves, charcoal stoves. And the pad thai goes from one chef on the first stove that has a bigger fire to another stove that has a lower fire, and another chef takes it to the last stove and finishes it there. I have never seen this before, but guessing by the taste, I'm sure it's worth it doing it this way. And there's one more thing that surprised me, is that how they incorporated the egg into the pad thai. The egg was already pre-made, like a roll, and then they just cut it into the pad thai, not cooking it from the raw state. Even with the pre-made egg, the taste is so amazing, so why not do it this way? And as this place is a local's favorite and is popular on Grab too,
Expect it to be crowded and you need to wait a little bit, but definitely it's worth it.
it's surely worth it. This place is called Boonloret, and it has received a Michelin rating for 3 consecutive years. They opened in 1977 and specializes in egg noodles with wonton that are served with roasted pork belly, roasted pork meat and crab meat on top of it. This is probably the biggest pork belly piece I've ever eaten here. But the size doesn't sacrifice the taste. The pork belly has been marinated for 4 hours and then grilled on a charcoal grill. And you can really taste the barbecue sauce there. It's giving this meat really like a sweet flavor. You can either choose to eat your meal with egg noodles or wontons. Wontons are these dumplings, which are basically a thick rice noodles that are filled with more pork. And these ones are really good. Once you put them in your mouth, the noodle dough is so soft that it starts melting on your tongue. And on top of all of this, there are some greens like water spinach and also a crab meat, but the highlight for me is definitely this pork belly. It's so juicy and crispy. Welcome to Chinatown, one of the most famous street food hubs here in Bangkok. Let's see what they have to offer. And from all the restaurants in Bangkok that are serving a Guay, which is a rolled noodle soup, this is the most famous one. They are in the business for more than 50 years and has been recognized by Michelin for multiple years too. And I completely see why. The noodles are amazing. They are so tender and chewy. What I like the most about these noodles is that the way they are rolled. When you eat them, they contain so much of the broth inside. The broth on its own, it's outstanding too. A rich black pepper flavor together with the pork tones. And then there's the pork belly, juicy and crispy despite being in the broth. Top it off with hard-boiled egg, pork liver, some kind of crackers, and you have a really tasty soup that is worth waiting the line for. Standing at this spot for 60 years and being awarded by Michelin for 6 consecutive years, this street food stall is really a local's favorite. What makes it so special are these fish balls. It's said that these are the best fish balls you can buy in any street food here in Bangkok. And what's the secret to them? They are made out of pure fish. There is no flour used, unlike in the other street food stalls. And the difference in taste is really huge. And it's not only the taste where these fish balls stand out, it's also the structure. When you bite into this fish ball, it's really soft and bouncy, almost like gelatinous. When ordering this soup, there's a selection of noodles that you would like to choose. I chose the widest ones because I like them the most. And they are cooked in the fish broth, maybe in like 5 seconds. Really, like this is the fastest street food I've ever eaten. I haven't even put up a camera and the dish was already ready for me to eat it. Fish balls and noodles are not the only things you can find in this soup. Here is a fish wonton, noodle-like dumpling filled with minced fish. This one has a bit thicker roll, so it's a bit harder to bite into, but the inside is really rewarding. The fish is seasoned with a black pepper and maybe a soy sauce, but the flavor is just amazing. The broth itself is amazing too. What I taste there is like a black pepper and an onion. It's not too fishy, so you can truly enjoy the fish taste in the fish balls and the broth is not interfering with it. These are the famous fish balls, and once they finish, they close. The owner said that they usually sold out in 4.5 hours. You better hurry because these are gonna sell out fast. When in Thailand, there's no such thing as too many noodles. So should we order another? I think I found the perfect place. So apparently the restaurant is not the right place. I was escorted to the backyards where a true street food is happening. Found them. But what makes these noodles so special? Firstly, their shape. Apart from traditional rice noodles, these noodles are very broad. They are maybe 4 or 5 times the size the noodles that are used in pad thai. Instead of other dishes that are cooked on gas, this dish was cooked on wood or like a coal. I haven't seen that in the streets of Bangkok before, so that gives the uniqueness to this meal even more. And let me tell you, these are one of the best noodles I've had here. You see how brown these noodles are? These all brown parts are just so crunchy. And once you bite into it, they are still soft and chewy on the inside. Amazing. The meat is also brownish on the outside, giving it also the crispiness like the noodles. And one more unique thing about this dish is how they incorporate the egg into it. It's steamed, so you can break the yolk and spread it all over the noodles, making the noodles more juicy and buttery. Now I really understand how this restaurant was awarded by Michelin for 5 years in a row. And how we could end this video without a dessert? We found mango sticky rice in a restaurant that is preparing it for 90 years. And finally, we found the mango sticky rice that has mangoes that are a bit sour, not overripe like everywhere else. Also, the sweetened coconut milk is really thicky here. It's not watery and it stays on rice just perfectly.
So that was 8 Thai street food that has been recognized by Michelin.
And they are really delicious and affordable. So why not come here and try them yourself? Stay tuned for more of our food adventures. See you somewhere else, my friends.